very, very famous Four Agreements, and this is going to be a part of Mindset Monday. I believe that this book has been very foundational when it came to me training as a coach, me becoming a coach when I was training. I was supposed to read this book as a part of the curriculum, and I learned so many beautiful things. This is not only just coaching, but it's also a foundational book when it comes to life. I mean, this book is just the foundation of everything. It not only improves you as a person, but it improves the way you approach life. So we are going to be talking about this book and all the lessons that I have learned from one of my favorite personal development books. It comes up all the time. Even the sessions that I have with my own coach, it always comes up. And these are agreements, these are like the four agreements, which we are going to talk about, but these are actually very difficult to implement sometimes, especially by yourself. They are going to be very challenging because it does require a lot of self discipline. It requires a lot of self awareness to be able to implement this book. So let's talk about it. So the Four Agreements is a really pretty beautiful book. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it consists of four principles to live your life in a more beautiful, self-aware manner. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your words. What does that even mean? It means that when you say something, you implement that. You show up. When you say that you're going to be showing up, you show up. Instead of not doing the thing, you do the thing. Regardless of how much resistance there is, you do the thing. For example, I could show up on live on YouTube or I couldn't. There's nobody who was going to say you didn't do that. The reason why I do it is because I've said that I'm going to be showing up. So I almost have to because I've said it. It's a word spell almost. So be impeccable with your word is to literally own your word. Whenever you say something, do it. If you said that are you going to send someone that message, send it. If you said that you were going to show up, show up. The second agreement is to not take anything personally. And this is so hard, right? Like you get a comment from someone or you get feedback or you get anything. It's so difficult to not take anything personally. But the second agreement is to truly not take anything personally. And this is going to be so hard, especially when you're not used to it, when you don't have the inherent self love or when you don't have the inherent self acceptance. It's going to be very hard to not take anything personally. But the second agreement says that the more you're becoming self aware, the more you accept yourself, the more better you're going to get at not taking things personally because you understand that it's not your stuff, it's someone else's stuff that is being projected onto you. So you don't take those comments personally anymore. And this is the more I coach people, the more I get coached, the more I understand that this is going to be a recurring theme every single day. Every single day, you're going to get a comment. Every single day, someone will say something to you, maybe about your hair, maybe about your personality, maybe about your business, maybe about your work. Are you going to keep taking those comments personally? Or are you going to become self aware and you're going to realize that those comments don't really mean anything until you give them a meaning? And that is just it kind of makes you so aware, right? It makes you understand that you are giving things meaning, but it is also at the same time very difficult to implement because we are any which ways coordinating with people all the time, and it's sometimes very hard to have that emotional control, right? Like I've been in positions where I got a comment from someone and I almost couldn't not take it personally because it was on me and it was about my work. Or how can you not take that personally? It's very difficult. And even with my coach, I'm constantly working on this agreement to constantly make sure that I realize my own self worth, that I realize my own worth of my efforts, of my work, that I don't need to be affected by other people's comments, other people's judgments. So the second agreement is truly about not taking anything personally. This means, let's say you're outside, right, and someone has having an extremely bad day and they give out to you. You just don't take it personally. You just move on with your life and you go about your tasks. And this is going to be hard, but the more you implement it, the more you're going to see how you change. This happened to me actually in one of the lives I was on. My live before the previous one. There was this person who was constantly commenting on the live, and they were not really adding to the live. They were kind of being very difficult. And I had to just take a stand there and kind of remove them from the live. But instead of taking those comments personally, I just let it go, right? So that is how you can build that self confidence to stop taking things personally and start to really accept and love yourself and know your worth. It not only elevates your confidence, but it almost all of a sudden changes how people approach you. The more you stop taking things personally, the less you are affected by people. And this is just going to be the cheat code to life, to not take things personally. As easy as it sounds, it is going to be the hardest to implement. The more you implement it, the easier it's going to become, and the more confident and self assured you're going to become. Also, welcome everybody. We are discussing the four agreements, and we've already discussed the top two, which is be impeccable with your sorry, be impeccable with your word, and don't take anything personally. I'm just going to have a quick drink of my coconut water. Right, so true. You are telling this with two years commendable. Yes, actually, I am because I have promised myself that I am going to show up live, regardless of how many viewers there are or anything like that. I'm just going to show up live because I know that YouTube has changed my life and how I approach things. I have become this version of myself only because of YouTube. So, this is just my time to give it back to the community. And I have seen that there are people showing up every single day who are consistent. I want to show up for them because I made a promise a few days ago that I would be showing up live every day. So I will be showing up live every day. So now we are on the third agreement, which is don't make assumptions. Stay positive. Thank you so much, Abhijit. Thank you for that. Don't make don't take anything personally is already covered. Now we're going to be talking about don't make any assumptions. This is so hard, right? Like we have those unconscious biases all the time. We're always having these unconscious bias. Like you have an unconscious bias about me, like you just said, you're telling all this with 2 years, but you never saw the previous live streams, for example. So you already made an assumption. That is just an example. And these comments, whenever you comment on anybody's post, you're almost making an assumption about them because you don't know them. You don't know any of these people, but you still make assumptions with your comments. This is going to be an example of the third agreement is to not already on the back of your hand make an assumption of someone, but always give them a benefit of doubt. Always understand that you don't know the full story, and this is so foundational in coaching. In coaching, we are always taught to not make any assumptions and ask those clarifying questions because that is where the magic happens. And my coach always does this. He's never made any assumptions, he would say it. He would just ask me the question. And this is just so important to not already make assumptions about someone, but to ask them questions, to be present with them, to have empathy about them, to actually, you know, do not already make us unconscious assumptions about someone just because they look a certain way or they sound a certain way, but to always have that open-ended conversation with that person. And this is also a hard one, right? Because you're making assumptions 24/7 because you're already programmed, you're already in a certain light, you already kind of know how things are going, you have that mentality, you take it and you basically implement it. You basically already have the blueprint in your mind. And then when you have the blueprint in your mind, you're basically going to, whenever someone is coming in or whenever some event happens, you've already made the assumption. And it's very important for you to slow down. Instead of making assumptions, really see it logically and ask questions that are going to help you get more understanding about the situation. The last agreement is actually the easiest one. It is to do your best every single day. And this is going to be a subjective one because every day is going to be different. For example, some of the days I'm going live for 30 minutes, some of the days I'm getting 100 people join, some of the day I'm getting 2 people join. It really depends. But on me is my ability to do the best every single day. Every day I'm getting 24 hours. How am I going to use those 24 hours to do my level best with the health and the ability that I have that day, with the possibilities and the circumstances, the money, resources that I have that day to do my best and to show up and add value? That is how I see, how I interpret the always do your best one, because it's really about doing your best that particular day in that particular moment. It's not going to be every day, it's going to be the same, do your best, and that's about it. I wish, but every day is going to be different. And the more you're able to accept that every day is going to be different, the more you're able to kind of show up with less attachment to the outcome. And it's so beautiful. So we covered the 4 agreements. The first one is to be impeccable with your word. Second one is to not take anything personally. Third one is to do your best. And the fourth one is to basically, let me just check the fourth one. The fourth one is don't make any assumptions. Yes, exactly. The fourth one is to not make any assumptions. So now that we know these guardrailing principles, I invite you to start to pick one of them and implement that in the week. It could be to not take anything personally, being impeccable with your word, not making assumptions, or doing your best. Just pick one. Don't try to do all of them together because that's going to be challenging. Pick one and try to implement that, because that's where you're going to actually see the change, and it's going to have a more lasting impact when you pick one and try to implement it instead of picking four and trying to implement them. Now that we've done this, we're going to be going over to our daily ritual, which is the daily charisma practice. I don't know if whoever is joining has already done this before or not, but I have been doing this for the past 3 weeks already. And it is the daily charisma practice that I do every single day on YouTube, where we would be grabbing a mirror, like either you grab a pocket mirror or go to a full length mirror, and this is a practice that alchemizes all of your negative beliefs about yourself. It's not only about appearance, it's actually way deeper. And this is something that the author of Psycho Cybernetics, the book, he talks about this in the book. It's all about self image. So, what we're going to be doing is I invite you to look at yourself, observe the thoughts that come into your mind, which are all negative about. Maybe it is your acne, it is how you look, all those thoughts are coming up. Just let yourself, hello Louise, how are you? Welcome to the channel. We are doing the daily charisma practice. I invite you to go in front of a full length mirror or grab a little pocket one and look into your left eye and really, really be positive with yourself. Be present and say, I love you. And just be present with yourself. Say, I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. Take a deep breath. Breath out. Take another deep breath. Whether you are live or you are watching a pre-recorded one, I invite you to just put your hand over your heart and breathe it all in. Breathe out and just be present. Be present with that uncomfortable feeling of not feeling enough or anything that's coming up, because that's what's going to be alchemized. I hope you enjoyed this little live that we did. It was a short one, but do come back whenever you're feeling that you want to get a little glimpse of the 4 agreements, and it's going to really help you up your energy and implement the personal development changes throughout your week. Pick one agreement and do that one. And I will see you in the next live where we are going to be talking about something different, and also keep at it, keep doing the daily charisma practice so that you actually see the results, not only in your image, but in your self image. Until then, I will see you tomorrow. But see you.